We have the head of the manager of the public art program in the Duke City is Sherri Brueggemann. She is here with us today. Sherri, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. What year are we celebrating?
35.
No, kidding.
Yeah.
35 years of public art
Yep.
in our community.
Absolutely.
What a cool job you have.
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel so lucky to be able to do this job for the citizens of Albuquerque. It's really great.
And tell us a little bit about the public art program. It's comprised of local artists, or how does that work?
The public art program was established in 1978, and we've actually acquired artwork from artists from all over the country.
Oh.
It's about 80% New Mexico artists. We try to do our best to make sure that we give New Mexico artists the opportunity to do business with the city. But we also know that we have a very large amount of artists in New Mexico, and we want them to have the opportunity to do projects in other parts of the country as well.
Yeah.
So we don't shut down our borders. We make sure that we have some interstate commerce, which is always good for the economy. And we oftentimes make projects available to artists from other parts of the country. We have a couple of very small amount of international artists as well.
Oh, okay.
What defines public art? Is it anything that's out there in any public venue that the city has sponsored?
That's a good question. There's a couple of different definitions of public art. Certainly art that is funded by government funds counts. We try to make it as accessible as possible, whether it's indoors at a library and you can come see it anytime the library is open, to the big things on the interstate that you see every time you drive by. But there's also art in the public realm that is done by artists that aren't funded by government. They do it themselves, or they're sponsored by maybe a private supporter or a gallery. So we like to encourage all of it. The more art that's out there in the public, the better for everybody.
So are you guys responsible for the big snowman beside the interstate?
No,
okay.
We are not, but I like to always give credit to MAFCA, the Metropolitan Flood Control Authority, for putting that up, because that's certainly their artistic expression with all those huge tumbleweeds,
the tumbleweed snowman.
The event, the birthday party itself isn't until October 10th, but what's going to happen at the event?
Well, the other thing that we're celebrating is another unique program that the city of Albuquerque created 30 years ago, which is the Urban Enhancement Trust Fund. And that was a very large chunk of money that was put into a trust fund. The earnings from that trust fund actually fund arts and cultural programs in our city. So we fund workshops for mariachi players, students who want to learn how to play. We fund lectures and historic maps. And so we're actually having a joint birthday party, 30 years of UETF and 35 years for the public art program. So that event will take place at the Chemo Theater on Thursday, October 10th. And we're going to have a public art exhibition in the Chemo Gallery that will feature some great behind the scenes stuff about how public art actually comes together, what happens. But we're going to have a stage event, which is going to include some vignettes of some of the cultural organizations that we've funded over the years.
Oh, good.
So we'll see a little bit of theater, we'll see a little bit of dance, we'll see a little bit of classical music, and a whole host of other things. I don't want to give too many of them away.
That sounds like a fun event, just a lot of arts in one.
Yeah, and the visual exhibition, we've got one of your former guest. Actually, I think he's one of your regulars. Well, Hakeem is going to be doing a project for us as well. We've commissioned him to do a public art poem. An inspired public art poem. But we also have Dan Mayfield's going to be our MC.
Oh, okay,
nice.
Wonderful,
wonderful. We like Dan.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of pictures of some of the public art. Let's, Sherri, if you can tell us what these are, that'd be great. Let's put up the first one. Where is this?
So this is called the 5 Stones of Elena Gallegos, and it is actually up at the Elena Gallegos Trail, the trailhead that leads up into the Sandia Mountains. And this is one of the earliest pieces that we have in the collection. It's by an artist named Billy Waters. And
it's our own version of Stonehenge.
I have actually seen this.
And there's a smaller version of that. But there's some carvings and a little interpretive plaque that kind of tells you what the artist was thinking about, inspired by a scientist that did some work here in Albuquerque.
And I think this one is of Harry Kinney.
Yes, and always like to give a little extra credit to Harry Kenny. He was the mayor who actually started the first arts board. He was not the mayor in office at the time that the ordinance was approved, but he was a guy who got together a group of people and said, figure out how we're going to do this. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Sherri, it's great to meet you. Let's have you back, but congrats on 35 years of public art in the community. It's made it a better place to live.
Thank you. We'd like to invite everybody out to our event on October 10th. It's free and open to the public.
Okay.